Hello, my name is Daryl Frederick, and this is a general overview of the project redesign for the IST331 class. For the IST331 redesign project, Team 5 decided to redesign the St. Paul's Church website. The process of redesigning the website began with the team collaborating on the original website design to see what kind of design flaws we could come up with. The three most prominent flaws that the team identified were the incompatibility of the website when transitioning from mobile to desktop. While the website works well on a mobile device, when transitioning to a desktop browser, the software creates too much white space, which can be distracting for the user. We also agreed that the website's aesthetic design is not modern enough to suffice for today's standards. Since one of the primary functions of the church website is to attract new members, it is important that the website follow modern computing trends. Lastly, the team agreed that the links are not positioned to maximize for efficiency. For instance, localized boxes that contain the information would better separate the information for the user, making it easier to find more information quickly. Before designing the website prototype, the team conducted a brainstorming session where we developed several user scenarios. The first user we came up with was the member. This user is a member of the congregation and a frequent user of the website. Therefore, the primary design of the website should be tailored to this user. For instance, events, activities, and service information need to be readily available to this user. The next user considered was a potential member. These users would be first-time visitors to the site. After considering potential members' needs, we found that the information such as direction information, the church mission statement, and contact information need to be prominent displays on the home page. The website aesthetic is also important because it may be the first impression the potential member has of the church. The next user considered was the members of the clergy and the administrative staff. Unlike the member and potential member, the content is not important as the back-end system. These users would need a website with an intuitive back-end design that would allow the clergy and staff to update the site content with minimal effort. This is important to the visitors of the site as well because a well-designed site will have little downtime, meaning the site can be accessed nearly 100% of the time. For the back-end system, we decided to use WordPress, which you can see here, which has an intuitive design and is easy to update the content. The last two users we came up with were the bookstore customers and community support participants. To maximize the efficiency of the site and make sure the site is not confusing for the users, we determined that the bookstore should follow the same template as the homepage. We also determined that we should update the security protocols on the website to ensure that purchases would be protected. Lastly, the community support participant may not be a member of the church. However, they do take part in activities such as preschool, languages classes, etc. We wanted to make sure the information is readily available on the website. After Team 5 decided on the user base, we created a low-fidelity prototype, ultimately choosing Christopher Moore's design. We then created a high-fidelity prototype based off his design, which we then transitioned into the final design as you see now. Since usability is a primary goal in the redesign, we adhered to several standards to ensure the usability of the product as well as the interactivity of the browser and the software within the website. For instance, the website follows the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines by the W3C. We also adhere to heuristic guidelines. For instance, it was our goal to strive for consistency. We attempted to do this by making several recurring elements appear in exactly the same position on multiple pages. As you see, the St. Paul's Methodist Church logo is on the top left corner and it follows similar design. Another guideline we adhered to was one of Norman's 7 principles, in which we try to simplify the structure of tasks. We provided links with the titles that describe exactly where that link will take the user, as well as a short blurb that describes the link as well. These can be seen right here. We have the About Us, Ministries, and Mission Statements. The final part of the design was to garner information from others in a user usability test. Each of the team members received feedback about the website from third-party individuals. More about usability testing will be provided later in the presentation. Thank you.
My name is Chris Morris, and I will be discussing the design and development of our redesign. This is an overview of the design and development process. We started with a low-fidelity prototype, created a high-fidelity prototype, covered standards for the site, and then performed user testing. We began our redesigned site by creating low-fidelity prototypes. We created user profiles for all of the different possible audiences that might visit the site. We then created different goals that they might use the site for. Individually, we created low-fidelity prototypes that were then shared during a team meeting. As a team, we analyzed the prototypes and then selected a chosen one. The chosen prototype is the one on the lower left below. We took our low-fidelity vision of the site and developed it using the WordPress platform. The mid-tone blue color taken from the church's logo seemed appropriate for the site, so we used it as the background color in the site's color scheme. The overall redesign resulted in a newer, fresher feel, while adding features that regular users would be familiar with. Alternating images on the main web page added to the user experience, while also adding links that were both helpful and useful. Navigation of the website remained as it was in the low-profile prototype. The new site integrates both a drop-down menu bar, a clickable image slider, and featured images on the lower portion of the screen. One member recommended that we also add a welcome statement to the site that the previous site had used. We agreed with this idea and implemented it on the homepage. We then focused on meeting the standards for the site. We created a site that was consistent across all of its pages. Each page has a dark blue background with a white foreground that distinguishes itself and defines the content area. The header, search bar, social media icons, and menu are all consistent across each of the site's pages. The content pages all use the same design with large, bold titles located at the top of the page underneath the header, followed by content. The actual part of the site that displays content has a white background, while the rest of the site uses a blue background. This was created to distinguish the actual content of the site from the background and clearly defined its bounds. The actual pages of the site use a variety of techniques, including headings, larger text, bolded text, italicized text, and the actual positioning of the text to differentiate content and to emphasize particular elements. The site uses a menu that includes drop-down options for its navigation scheme. These drop-down options allow users to more selectively choose pages based on the category they are placed within. Each page displays the name of the page in large, bold text so that the users understand exactly what page they are looking at. The search bar included on each page will also be helpful in assisting users in their search for particular content. Next, we attempted to make the site adaptable. This is what you're seeing in the image on the right. We created a adaptable theme that works with both tablets and mobile devices because of the growing pervasiveness of these devices. As you can see in this image, this is a video of a tablet emulator, and you can see that the site has adapted to the tablet. Content has been resized, so no horizontal screening is necessary. The navigation menu is now a drop-down menu, so it's easier to use on tablet devices and to press each of the options, and it also starts off being closed so it doesn't take up an unnecessary amount of room. We performed usability testing to get feedback on the site that we could use to improve the site. For the testing, we used users that both had experience with the site and others that were completely new to it. We used a diverse group of users with different ages, education, and cultural differences. The list of goals for our testing are shown on the right, along with the tasks we gave our users and questions that we asked them following the testing. Overall, the users were happy with the way we implemented navigation in the high-fidelity prototype. Tasks were successfully completed with the aid of a simple layout, helpful links located on displayed pictures, and the drop-down menu. The simple layout we incorporated allowed for a design that does not clutter the page with a large number of static links, but instead uses a menu structure that is robust enough to find information quickly. Users also liked the site's modern design and layout. The color scheme, use of the original logo from the church, eye-catching graphics, and easy-to-find links made the experience go smoothly for users. There were several suggestions that occurred during testing regarding changes users would like to see to further enhance their experience of the new site. As far as look and impression, one user pointed to text use on some pages as being too light in color to easily read. Another user suggested that we slow down the time delay of the images in the image slider, so it would give users more time to read the content displayed there. Several users also mentioned that the Facebook icon was hard to find due to its design. The icon was small and gray in color and tended to blend in with the page, and it was one of the items that took the longest for users to find during testing. After the usability testing was finished, we reviewed the results and discussed potential changes before tweaking the site's navigation, layout, and content. Some of the changes we made included changing the Facebook icon to be larger, and so that it was blue rather than the gray in the original prototype, slowing down the automatic transition of the images in the homepage image slider, and darkening the text on the website.
Hi, this is Robert Heckel with IST331 Team 5, and I'll be covering some of the successes that our team encountered during the St. Paul's website rebuild. During usability testing, the feedback received was valuable. All users loved the layout of the site with only minuscule changes that could easily be applied. The biggest compliment that we received during testing was that of the navigation on the site, being that the navigation is one of the most important aspects of a well-designed web portal. This was a big compliment to the team. The following is just one of the compliments that we received from Kelly, one of Joe's usability testers. During the site redesign, we decided to go ahead and use a common content management system, WordPress. By utilizing a content management system to build the site, we ensured that it could easily be turned over to the webmasters at St. Paul's Church for use with little to no changes on their end. In addition to this, the site allows for other power users to have control over the content on the website. The permissions are pretty granular, which allow for different rules to be defined. These are as follows. The administrator, this would basically be the webmaster, the users who have full control of the site, including design features and other powerful tools. Editors, these are users that are able to publish and manage content, including other users' articles. Authors, a user who can publish and manage their own posts. And finally, contributors, somebody who can write and manage an article, but they're unable to publish to the site without it being reviewed by someone with higher permissions. In addition to this, the site uses a static theme that was easy to work with. That theme also includes a mobile version that when viewed via a mobile device such as a tablet or a smartphone, the theme adapts and provides content accordingly without overwhelming the device. By utilizing this method of web development, it helped the team spend less time tweaking minor details of the HTML, JavaScript, jQuery, etc., and allowed for more time to develop a site that was mindful of the heuristics and standards that we've learned so far in the class. Finally, the team worked well together. All the decisions were agreed upon by all the members of the team prior to submissions. There were no arguments or disagreements that were voiced between members or of members' opinions, and overall the communication was good between members. Even if a member wasn't able to attend a meeting, all the other members were helpful in conveying the meeting notes and the agenda and which articles were expected of that member for that week. We can attribute this primarily to using email and Google Docs and Google Hangouts. One of the nice features with Google Hangouts was that if a member was at work or away from a PC, they were able to take a phone call and still be a part of the meeting. They just wouldn't be able to share the screen like we had shared documents inside of Google Docs. Overall, when we set out to complete the project, we had hoped for a more user-friendly experience. What we ended up with was a timeless design that was derived from our experience in the course and our users' feedback.
Hi, this is Joe Mancini from IST331 Team 5. our team elected to redesign St. Paul's Church website for this assignment, and I will be discussing the challenges associated with this redesign. Basically, I will follow the course standards and guidelines for redesign. We followed four main topics I'll explain and demonstrate. We simplified and decluttered the navigation of the website. We kept some consistent navigation throughout the website so folks would understand how to traverse backward, forward, etc. at various points in the website. We kept the website familiar to those either using the existing website, which I'll show, or not having any familiarity with the website at all, but familiar with St. Paul's Church in general. So there's some familiar color, wording, and imagery throughout the website. The new site is also learnable. It follows a modern layout and navigation, familiar to anyone who uses other prominent websites on the internet. So I will begin with a demonstration here. So this is the existing website, and you can see that there are numerous menu items along the side, almost listed in a list fashion. No real rhyme or reason. They're not even alphabetically organized. And then even when clicking on any list, menu item rather, you get so many other options that the website is just chock full of clickable links throughout that really aren't organized in any particular fashion. So it's very crowded, too many options. I think easily overwhelming someone who is trying to learn the site or is new to the site. The new design is rather modern. It has navigation in several areas along the top. And along the top, these menu items were needed really because there was so much content on the old site. We liked the simpler, compact navigation found in the center of our new site as well as along the bottom, but frankly there were too many items to populate those menu styles, and it was necessary to include and retain the menuing along the top to accommodate all the content. So this new site is more organized and it's a cleaner navigation. From a consistency perspective, as you go throughout the site, and it's not populated with all of the data, but as you go out throughout the site, the navigation stays. So unlike the prior site, one would understand how to get back home and navigate to other parts of the website without trouble. Thirdly, the website remains a familiar look. The logo and coloring is retained, as well as the imagery throughout the site, included in the center bar and the bottom. In addition, the wording, things like preschool, St. Paul's Weekly, you see coming up here under the calendar and what's happening. Those are words and definitions that were retained from the old website. So someone coming to this after an upgrade would be familiar where to go to find content of interest. And lastly, the site is learnable. The style is very familiar, found on other websites common to the internet right now. And someone new to St. Paul's, perhaps a new community member, would go to the site and find it rather easy to initially navigate and learn, having no prior background with St. Paul's or the website. So I hope that explains the challenges we faced in designing the content and matching the content with the new design. Thank you.